In our lesson today, we're going to look at the relationship that exists among the sides of a triangle. And it's important to remember that a triangle is a three-sided polygon. And our ultimate goal is to be able to tell if I give you the lengths of three sides, would those lengths be able to form a triangle? Okay, and you can see at the box here at the top, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use different colored straws to represent different lengths, and I'm going to see if I can make a triangle with those different straws. Okay, and so what I'm going to do, if I take a look at the first one, my side 1, side 2, and side 3 are all 15 centimeters, which if I look in my box up here, that's my red striped straw. So I'm going to take 3 straws that are red striped that look like this, okay, and I'm going to see if I can make a triangle out of those straws, okay. And if I can, I'm going to write yes in this column. If I can't, I'm going to write no. And then I'm going to set up an inequality, and we'll take a look at that in just a moment. So let's get our straws and see if we can make a triangle. So here are my 3 red striped straws that I'm going to use to see if I can make a triangle. Again, the red striped is a 15 centimeter long straw. And we need to try to make a triangle out of these straws. And it's important that we remember that we've got to have the end points of the straws touching. I can't do something, that looks like this, where the end points aren't even touching each other. Okay, I've got to see if I can make the end points touch. So let's start with 2 of them here. Okay, so I've got those straws touching at the end point there, and I'll bring in my 3rd red striped straw now. Okay, and I'll put it down here, and all the endpoints look like they're touching, so I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, I'm going to be able to make a triangle out of this. Now that I've determined that I could make a triangle, I'm going to set up an inequality. I'm going to take the side 1 and side 2 lengths, I'm going to add them together, and I'm going to see if that's greater than my 3rd side. And here are your measurements right here. Again, side 1, side 2, and side 3 were all 15 centimeters, so my inequality is going to say 15 plus 15 is greater than 15. And if I do the addition over here, 15 and 15 makes 30, so my inequality says 30 is greater than 15. So this is true. Okay, this inequality is a true statement. My side 1 plus side 2 sum is greater than side 3. Okay, now I'm going to see for my next set if I can make a triangle. 3, 4, and 5 centimeters, which is going to be a peach, a green, and a blue straw. So here are my peach, green, and blue straws. Let's see if we can make a triangle out of these. Okay, so I'm going to, again, I've got to make the endpoints try to touch here. And if I do something that looks like that, that looks like I'm going to be able to form a triangle out of those straws. So I'm going to have to write yes in the second column again. So we saw before that we could make a triangle with 3, 4, and 5 centimeters. Let's set up our inequality. Okay, side 1 plus side 2, that's 3 and 4. 3 plus 4, is that greater than side 3, which is 5? Well, 3 plus 4 is 7, and 7 is greater than 5. So again, this is a true inequality. Okay, the next sides are going to be 8, 8, and 13 centimeters. That's 2 yellow straws and a hot pink straw. So I've got my 2 yellow and 1 hot pink straw. Let's see if we can make our triangle. Okay, I'm going to do something like so. Okay, and again, I get all the endpoints to touch, so I'm going to say yes, I was able to make a triangle. So once again, we were able to make a triangle, and our inequality this time says 8 plus 8, our side 1 and side 2 measurements. If I add them together, is that greater than 13? Well, 8 plus 8 is 16, and 16 is greater than 13. So again, we have a true inequality. All right, the next set, it's going to be 3, 4, and 8 centimeters. So again, that's peach, green, and a yellow straw. So here are our straws. Let's see if we can make our triangle. Okay, I've got my peach and my green and my yellow. Okay, and this time it doesn't look promising. Okay, I can get a couple of the endpoints to touch, but I can't make all 3 endpoints touch. Okay, this little piece over here. All right, the endpoints of all 3 of these straws are not touching. I can try to space this out a little bit, but again, it still doesn't look like it's it's going to make it, this straw looks to be like it's too long. So I'm going to have to say no on this one. So we had our first example where we couldn't make a triangle. Let's set up our inequality. Side 1 plus side 2, that's 3 plus 4. And is that greater than side 3, which this time is 8? Well, 3 plus 4 is 7. Is 7 greater than 8? Well, no, 7 is not greater than 8. This is a false statement. 7 is not greater than 8, so we have a false inequality this time. Okay, our next measurements are going to be 4, 4, and 5 centimeters. So that's going to be 2 green and a blue straw. Okay, so here are 2 green and 1 blue straw. Let's make a triangle, hopefully. Okay, I can put those together like that. And I can put that third one right there. And it looks like I can make all of the endpoints touch. So I'm going to have to say that this one is going to be a yes. We can make a triangle here. So we had another example where we could make a triangle with 4, 4, and 5 centimeters. Our inequality this time would say 4 plus 4 is greater than 5. And if I add my side 1 and side 2, 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 is greater than 5. So yes, I do have a true inequality. Next, we're going to have 8, 3, and 15 centimeters. 8 is yellow, 3 is peach, and 15 is a red striped. Okay, so here are our 3 straws. Let's see, I'll take my red striped straw and I'll use that along the bottom. And I'll put my yellow straw here. Okay, and now, oh boy, this doesn't look promising. Okay, I can put my peach straw right there, but yeah, that's not even coming close. Okay, so this one is a definite no, no triangle this time. So we had our second example where we couldn't make a triangle. Let's set up the inequality. Side 1 plus side 2, that's 8 plus 3. Is that greater than side 3, which was 15? Well, 8 plus 3 is 11. Is 11 greater than 15? Well, no, 11 is not greater than 15, so we have another false inequality. Okay, our last example is 4, 8, and 15 centimeters, which is going to be green, yellow, and our red stripe. Okay, so here are our 3 straws again. Let's see, can we make a triangle with these 3 straws? So I can get those 2 endpoints to touch, but I think I'm going to be in the same boat that I was in last time. Okay, my straw there just isn't long enough, and if I try to do something like that, I have an extra piece here hanging over. So again, this looks like it's going to have to be a no. So in our last example, again, we weren't able to make a triangle. Let's set up our inequality. Side 1 and side 2, that's 4 plus 8. Is that greater than side 3, which is 15? Well, 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 is not greater than 15, so we have a false inequality. So by going through this exercise with the straws, hopefully you're starting to notice something about the side lengths of a triangle, okay? In the first example, it says, what do you notice about the figures that have a side 1 plus side 2 sum that was less than side 3? Okay, so where the sum was less than side 3. So let's find an example of that. That would be right here. There's an example of that. All right, here the sum was less than side 3. Here the sum was less than side 3. In all 3 of these examples, the inequality was false. Okay, the sum was not greater than the third side. And notice they were not able to form a triangle. So we would say here, when this is the case, that these lengths do not form triangles. Okay, so in the second example, it says, what do you notice about the figures where side 1 plus side 2, the sum was greater than side 3? Okay, well, that was in every other example. Okay, the sum was greater in this example, the sum was greater here, here, and here, and in all of these, notice that you were able to make a triangle. So when this is true, when the sum is greater than the third side, these lengths do form triangles. Okay, so if you can take the sum of 2 sides and make it greater than the third side, if that sum is greater than the third side, then you will be able to make a triangle. If the sum is not greater than the third side, then you will not be able to form a triangle. Question 3 asks, you're given the side lengths of 8, 15, and 5 centimeters. Would they make a triangle? And we just discovered that if you take the first two sides and add them together, and it's greater than the third side, then it would be able to make a triangle. So this one, all we would have to do really is 8 plus 15 is greater than 5, and 8 plus 15 is 23. 23 is greater than 5, so this is a true statement, so I think I might be able to make a triangle. Let me get my straws out and see if I will be able to. So these are the straws that are 5, 8, and 15 centimeters, and again, I'm thinking that I should be able to make a triangle, so let's go ahead and see. Okay, I'll use the red stripe as my base down there. I'll put my yellow straw over here like so. Okay, and now my blue straw, and uh-oh, it doesn't quite make it. And if I move this up here, oh boy, this straw looks like it's too big. It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Okay, this extra piece right here, I'm actually not able to make a triangle. So I set up my inequality, and my inequality worked, but then when I tried it with the straws, I wasn't able to make a triangle. And why did that happen? Well, it's because 8 and 15 don't necessarily have to be side 1 and side 2. I could rearrange these numbers, okay, and I'm still using the same 3 lengths. So maybe I want to make side 1 and side 2 15 and 5. I would do 15 plus 5 is greater than side 3, which is 8. And if I add 15 and 5, that's 20. 20 is greater than 8. So again, I have a true statement. So again, that makes me think that I should be able to make a triangle. But there's still another way that we could set this up. Maybe side 1 and side 2 are the 8 and the 5. 8 plus 5. Okay, is that greater than the third side, which is 15? Okay, well, 8 plus 5 makes 13. 13 greater than 15? That is not true. This is a false inequality. Okay, and since this one is false, that means that these lengths do not form a triangle. So if they give you 3 sets of numbers, or excuse me, if they give you 3 numbers, you have to set up 3 different cases of the inequalities, and they would all have to be true in order to make the triangle. If one of them is false, then these do not make a triangle. So again, let's fill in the box here. What conditions determine if a triangle can exist? Well, the first, okay, the sum of any 2 sides must be greater than the third side. Okay, that sum of the first 2 sides has to be greater than the third side, and you must check all 3 trials. Okay, you'll be able to make 3 different inequalities. So in my next example, my side lengths are going to be 13, 8, and 15 centimeters. And again, I have to check all 3 trials to make sure if I can make a triangle. So here are my 3 trials. 13 plus 8 is greater than 15. 8 plus 15 is greater than 13. And 13 plus 15 is greater than 8. All 3 have to be true. Okay, so when I do the math, 21 is greater than 15. 23 is greater than 13, and 28 is greater than 8. So all 3 of them are true, which means these will form a triangle. The last thing I want to discuss is how to classify triangles by their side lengths. There's a scalene, an isosceles, and an equilateral triangle. And if the numbers aren't given, like on these 3 examples, you have to pay attention to the markings. Notice on the scalene triangle, all of the markings are different, which means that there are no equal sides. No equal sides is scalene. On the isosceles triangle, these 2 sides are the same, but this one is different, so there are 2 equal sides on an isosceles triangle. And in the last example, notice on the equilateral, 3 equal sides.